Good evening, everyone. Mazazuke is saying good evening to you all. I want to pay the last respect to a daughter whom we lost. She did her best. And on the same time, say everyone who intervened during her ordeal. I say thank you for all you have done, all you did for her, all your prayers, all your libations, all your support, morally and otherwise. Join me to say, Mmesoma Chukwu, Mercy Obi. May your soul rest in peace. Having said that, many of you here know I do not on this platform engage in individual analysis. I don't discuss people. I discuss issues that concerns us as a people. Reason why I would make an exception and pay tribute to Ada Jesus, as she is fondly known, is as follows. That in her death, that we might learn one or two things. One, we might learn forgiveness. I've once in a while, people might forward me, her short clip, when she does maybe comedy, or maybe in some of the groups, like all of us do, belongs in so many WhatsApp group, both of the Igbos and all the rest, and people do share her clip. One of my best clip that somebody shared with me was when I think there is one heavy guy, aka I don't want to sound offensive, but a huge guy whom in that comedy she was married to, and the comedy goes that the issue was who was going to stay on top or under, and by the virtue of the weight of the guy, she couldn't stay under in terms of adults. You know what I mean? And in the line of her job, what she did as a comedy, and at the same time, immature, not being matured enough, dived on some of, engaged in some of the things that ideally one should just let go, and made comments when she had issue with the husband, made comments, probably offended one or two people. But again, anyone, if you want to know your real history, start showing your face on the social media. When the day people will start following you, that means the people will own you. They will talk about you. But having said that, recently, when she started being sick and did a video about Odumeje, whom I say Oduha Eje, I'm excluding myself because also Dum Oduha Eje. If he agree that knows Duga Eje, then let him Dulugu Gaba. Oduha Eje, and the wife of my former colleague when I was with ABS, Anambra Broadcasting Service on Nature, and that is Edochie. And with the one that Ofia Fulago or whatever they call them. There are things that I want us to know. For me, her death, one thing I learned from her death is it's never too late to say sorry. It's never too late to say that you are sorry. It's never too late to apologize. I was happy I saw a video where she said, if she has offended you, apologize. She's sorry for having said the things she said. So she apologized to people. And I took that as one of the, that's really, really good. Having said the all these things, I will say, may her soul rest in peace. May we give her 1 minute silence for her and for everyone that we have lost recently. May their souls rest in peace. As we say in Igbo, ka Olisa bi n'enu n'alụ mkpụrụ obi ya na ndokwa. Amen. Now, I will say the following. I found it a little bit astonishing when I watch and I see people you refer to men of God. I watched a video that really broke me. Like I said at the beginning, I don't do these things, but when I saw a supposedly man of God saying that he wasn't going to forgive her, the other one said, I wasn't going to forgive her. Oh, she broke my heart. She's dead. Finito. What else can you do? Even the one that is a native doctor, that, I'm trying to be very, mind my language here. The one that is a native doctor apparently even acted better. Say, I have forgiven you, and he gave money, I think 100,000, to go and add to the medical bills. One key thing here is he gave, and he didn't say he will cure, because knowing that they had no powers, all of them across the board had no powers too. And, obviously he said, okay, I have forgiven you. I will now want you to go and receive medical treatment, which is fine. But eventually the other one didn't. And at some point, let me see if I can actually, I put her picture there as tribute to her. But there is something I want everyone watching me this evening to take away with. Please pay attention to the following things I'm going to say. One is, we must as a people walk away from this mental siege that someone has done us evil, that someone doesn't want us to succeed, XYZ, because you have altercation with someone, that he has gone to the native doctors, that he has reported to you, to your pastors. You must liberate your mind. Now, take for instance, so you worship an almighty God, and some of you have read comments online, and it tells me how low we have sunk. Oh, he's insulting a man of God, that God is going to punish. And I'm like, people, wake up. So you think God God has no business. He has nothing to do. He's just walking around looking for whom to strike on your behalf. Or some of you that pray your prayer, my enemies die, 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 die. Then you forget where your same Bible you read says, pray for your enemies. As if God is unemployed. He's only looking for whom to, he's looking for whom to devour and whom to kill. That's why he just, puts his 2 hands in his pocket, walks down the street, waiting for your prayer. Oh, this person insulted you, the man of God. God, strike him. And God will just take his axe. Boah! The person is dead. Come on, liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. The other one is, oh, a native doctor. He insulted me. Therefore, I'm going to kill chicken and do my incantation. And afterwards, he will die. Come on, liberate your mind. These things are laughable. So if I told that our ancestors will listen to you, so what they will do is, because this person insulted me, they will come and be pursuing somebody. I want to kill him on behalf of, come on, liberate your mind. The word is gone far. My final submission to her death is as following. Ada Jesus had a medical condition. And that's where you and I, still alive today, need to pay attention. In one of the videos, the only video that I think, all these videos that I probably watched about more than 3 minutes, is one she was giving saying something that captivated me. She said, no one did her something, meaning she knew it, that no one did her any evil. Right? If if they tell you, oh, this pastor can actually cause this demon or this person to die, or actually cause the other person to do this, and you ask yourself, you think there was no pastors, that there were no believers when Hitler was killing how many million Jews? The one that is even now killing, people are dying. You think there are people can't just pray, let them just die? We must begin to engage our brains, people. Ada had medical condition. She said it herself. Now, the key point I want you to note is, she also said that she was asked to abstain from certain food. Sadly, she did not adhere to that. If you have, go read it up, Google it. If you have kidney problem, there are foods that you must abstain, you must not eat. There are things you must not drink, just like somebody who has liver or kidney problem. These things are normal. Sadly, maybe in her unseriousness or in her childishness, she did not adhere to them. I believe she probably, I don't know, but I believe strongly so, she probably would still be alive if she had paid more attention to her health. Remember, at the time, she already got medical attention, because I started getting medical attention. It was almost too late. I saw again in the video when she was taken to Onitsha in this Oduheje church. I saw her hands swollen, meaning the kidney has gone really bad. The waters can no longer be filtered, the body fluid can no longer be filtered properly. Therefore, the body starts accumulating fluid. And the manner the people took her like a rag. And I'm like, even in sickness, can't we dignify ourselves? Can't you dress her up properly and take her, even if you want, but taking her to that place was, for me, it was a waste of time. It probably even add to your stress. Why would you? And the way they just took her like a rag. I looked at it, I said, now, wow, don't we know how to accord people dignity? Take her there, go beg man. The man said, no, he's not going to do anything. You just Not even wheelchair, not even wheeling the person, not even that oversized boba, not even, what is wrong with us? What is that? We can't even give, I don't know, we can't, the basic decency lacks in every single thing that we do. Basic decency. Basic decency. This is not skyrocket science. Okay, she's not fine. She's not feeling well. She says she had kidney issue, sadly. And anybody thinking that someone could actually, either by prayer, by incantation, by juju or anything, and give you a kidney problem, your number 6 is not intact. It's absolute rubbish, nonsense. It doesn't happen. Yes, I said it. It doesn't. So we must liberate our mind. And anyway, for those of you who haven't subscribed to this channel, please kindly do and share this video. Let others join the conversation. Please like the video. YouTube algorithm likes it. When you like the video, it lets others and it alerts them that you are watching something interesting and they will join us, because this is a conversation that in her death, we must learn one or two things. In her death would not be in vain. There must be a reason. There must be something that we must learn from her death. There must be something we must learn. We can't just, to me, it wouldn't be business as usual. After her death, yes, we know what has happened, but, obviously, there must be something that we have to learn from her death. So having said that, yes, she's dead. Kidney problem, please. In a year, please. If it's not possible, even if it's once a year, go for medical checkup. Go for medical checkup. Nigeria has failed. Nigeria has failed. It's a failed state. Anybody telling you anything other than that is just wasting time. Nigeria is a failed state. However, in its failure, there are still some minute sectors that still work. You can still go to the private sector with about 3,000 to 4,000 naira. You can do your annual check where they will run urine, stool, and blood test. At least, if they check, these basic tests, it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Rather than sit down somewhere drinking, gozing alcohol like there is no tomorrow, let's put some certain amount of money aside. Yes, I know the economy is so bad. This, but at least let us also endeavor. I remember the last time, everybody's saying, oh, I had malaria, blah, blah, blah. Go buy malaria test. I don't, that's my problem. I don't take medications unless prescribed. Not even paracetamol. I don't. Because I normally say if headache is a symptom of something, so I better look for what is actually the underlying thing of the headache, and that is going to help me stop the headache rather than just take paracetamol. So, in essence, please, I beg us, in her death, can we try as much as possible to try and attain to hospital, or rather to labs, and understand what is wrong? Again, David Chinenye here said, Mazi, okay, hold on. He says here, Mazi, please, does that mean there is nothing like evil people? How do I answer you? Of course, there is evil. If there is no evil, there wouldn't be good. But you sitting down, that someone is sitting somewhere is evil to you and has given you kidney failure, then you must check your brain. My late father told me something. He said, son, be careful. The only thing that can kill you is something physical that someone could put to you. You see, here I have a drink. if someone puts in chemical in there, and that chemical, you can call it poison, you can call it anything. This is something that's going to whack your system, and depending on what, definitely you would go from that. But that someone would sit somewhere, do some incantation and send it over to you, and it's going to kill you, I would say, please wake up. The world has moved forward. The world is no longer in that level of archaic thinking and archaic belief. Please, we must liberate our mind. If you're coming to this channel, you must by now have understood that we are here to liberate the mind. So again, David, to your question, yes, there are evil people everywhere. Be more wary of those that can give you poison, as those they say they do jazz. Oh, they sent one. They said they sent one person jazz from the village to America. Come on, wake up! There are better things people do than believe such nonsensical crap. Anyway, that's by the way. In conclusion, here I will say once more, Ada, rest in peace. You fought a good fight. In your death, we must learn to take care of our health, you know. And I will use the opportunity to say a very big thank you to my good friend, Dr. Chidi of Worship Media, whom raised money. And she sent me a link the other day when he finished. You know, it appears that Chidi somehow had a notion that this might happen. Actually, part of the Chidi streamed live her birthday. And after that, after I saw that, and I sent a message to Chidi. I said, Chidi, when she was cutting the cake, I noticed, you know, the facial expression is already wonky a little bit. And I said, did she have stroke? And Chidi said, yes. At that point, I knew that something tragic was likely to happen. Very young, kidney and stroke, a bad combination. Sadly, we lost her. People die every day. But, you know, I haven't met her, never spoke to her, but through the videos people have sent me, and I have looked at some of them, and I say, I mean, you know, some of these things could be youthful exuberance, you know, being young. I'd say if maybe 20 years ago, maybe some of these things, you know, you could, if internet was so wide as it is today, people can be talking, you know, wow. But with age comes maturity. Sadly, I do not for 1 second believe, that's my conclusion here, that anybody had anything to do with her death. And to my fellow Christians, before you start arguing, now, when you talk about miracle, God healing, even when God healed the blind man, he did something. He used mud with saliva, rubbed it on it. That's medication. Shouldn't that tell us that for many of you who under the age of 30 or under the age of 40 taking amlodipine just to regulate your BP, I tell somebody that is already miracle on its own, because without you or the doctors diagnosing that you have a raised BP and giving you medication to keep them under control, or diabetes, if that is ignored, you would die sooner than you ought to, because either you have heart attack, brain hemorrhage, or whatever it is, and that person will end. In essence, it means the miracle already occurs when medical, you know, when the medical people find a cure to something, finds a medication to something. You go to lab, there is no spirituality there. They take your blood, go to, they put it in the lab, in whatever they do with them, and they come out and tell you, oh, you have this PSA, or you have protein in urine, or you have this XYZ. It does happen. And you begin treatment. The earlier things are discovered, the more treatable it becomes. It becomes much easier to treat. On that note, I once more say, our daughter and our sister, may your soul rest in peace. Now, my second topic again is that many of you been tagging me on Twitter. Sometimes I log onto my Twitter, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Twitter is on fire. What's happening? And I see everyone tagging me. Man says, okay, the airport, it's the Anambra airport that is not even finished, is downgraded. I say, I think if we understand one or two things, the reason why I need to touch on this is I've already scheduled that before something came. Because of these, I'm going to be inviting the Commissioner of Information, Anambra State, to join me in a Zoom conversation, to join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. on this platform. I would ask him also a wide range of questions on things happening in my state of Anambra. So on that downgrade of Anambra International Airport, that is false. That information is false, is not correct. Reason being, Anambra International Cargo Airport is what it is. In its name, you should know, it has nothing to do that it's downgraded. Now, I tell us, anything that is called international airport has a lot of politics to it. If we know, there was a time I asked, was it Ike Kweremadru also on this platform, on why Obasanjo didn't approve Enugu International Airport. Enugu Airport, or rather Kanibem Airport, I think was initially, was it 1976, if I'm not mistaken. And why did it take them so long, to the point that Goodluck Jonathan or Yaradua was the one that approved it to be an international airport? Once you build an airport, even before I get into that, why is it that Bayelsa State built an airport for under Dixon in 4 weeks or 3 weeks? It's going to be 2 years Dixon left office. But it was only last week that we read in the news that Bayelsa has been granted the right to fly commercial, many years after building that airport. Why? When you go, you see, sometimes there are things some of us know. When you go apply for an airport, Anambra Airport, in my understanding, was granted the license to do cargo, basically, because of Orient Petroleum, right? The oil company there. And once that is given to you, there are other things you can do, but they are not automatic. You can eventually extend to international, but obviously not international passenger. But once given the cargo, I mean, the goods can come from China, from Hong Kong to Anambra once it's completed, but not that passengers will go, because it was never in discussion. You cannot be given something that was never requested for. I'm not aware that anybody has requested. Is not finished now. But however, if you do things right and build them properly, which Anambra, that in all our doubts, myself included, is now proven that they are serious. The moment you go ahead and build an airport, build it right. An airport that has 3.7 kilometer runway with 1 kilometer resa each side, that they can use as taxiway. Once that is done, and you have if they install the GPS landing system with the IRS, with the Cat 2 landing facilities, all they need to do is to ensure that they have ICO certification issued by ICO in Canada. The moment they get these licenses, you can now approach federal government, look, oh, this, I have this, then we apply for this. And at that moment, I tell people, at that moment, anyone that says no, it becomes political. And there are ways to, there are ways to deal with that. We can start advocacy on that. After all, I spent 1 year plus of my life campaigning on every single day on Enugu International, Academy International Airport, Enugu. Right? So once that is done, and that, it becomes a done deal. At the end of the day, people, are you not listening? CEO says international direct China to Anambra. Are you people not listening? I said, cargo airport, if you have your wares, if you buy your goods, if you buy your ngwaahia as onyotu from China, from Guangzhou, from Jingwo, from Yangwo in China, and you can, once the airport starts operating, send your cargo to Onitsha. Okay? So that's what we believe. Then also we hope that they will start local, these things are done state by state. You start, local flights. You need to have the facilities. Again, all we see is the carcass. No one is seeing the inside, as in the details. So, but by the time it gets to the point that everything is finished, it's still going to take probably a couple of years, that everything is finished properly. The certifications from the NCA, all the aviation bodies, that these things are gotten, you move to regional. Before you fly 9 hours, 12 hours, 15, 24 hours, you first of all fly Lagos, Anambra, fly Abuja, Anambra, maybe Bayelsa, Anambra. Then once you're set with that, you begin to fly regional. Nigeria, Liberia, Nigeria, Ghana, Anambra, Ghana, Anambra, Ethiopia, Anambra, Zanzibar, whatever it is. Once you get to that point, you still, it's like you get your badges, and you get your badges, you move on, you move on, and at the end of the day, if you get the right certification, not many people don't know. Even Enugu now that all of us out, wow, international airport, Enugu does not have Cat 2 certification. It's a shame, actually. Enugu International Airport doesn't have Cat 2 certificate. I'm telling you. Huh? There are things I know that sadly I had believed that by now they would have been sorted out for us to push for them to go apply for the ICO certification. ICO need to come down, but sadly COVID came. Some of these, flying here and there by external bodies couldn't have happened. And these things, they cannot do it by pictures. They need to come and do calibrations and testings before they can issue these certifications. This is not Nigerian backdoor, the usual way we handle stuff. These are world standard bodies issuing some of these certifications. So having said that, people, I will say the following. I do not know what we gain by pushing out false narrative or false information. I don't know what we gain by doing that, okay? I don't know what we gain by just basically misinforming people, saying that the Federal Ministry of Aviation has refused Anambra State the license to operate, the license to operate international flight. They cannot refuse something you haven't even applied. You cannot build something on nothing. That is the the key message here. You can't build something. And, there is a lot going around us now. The tension everywhere. We have a lot of insecurity now. That you wake up, you might hear that a police station near your house is being burnt down, inmates allowed to go out, and policemen on the road could be shot and killed. So there is a lot going on. Let us not add to the tension, please. The tension here is suffocating. Sometimes I wonder how some of us even survive it. The tension here is suffocating. Please, that we shouldn't add to the, things we go through every day here. Oyenimo says, Anambra Delta avoiding head bridge. Well, second Niger bridge also is on track. Is moving. I must say, it's it has to. John K says the Njenje media is fake. Oh, pardon me, some of you are just irredeemable. The Njenje media is fake. Oh dear. For no, stop, please. John, you sound like some of those that might be projecting the fake news, actually. Okay. Oh dear. And lastly, again, second Niger bridge is moving since Obasanjo's time. Again, we might disagree with this government. I do. I disagree a lot with this government. But sadly, when you start dealing with facts, there are there are facts you can't hide them. Obasanjo didn't build second Niger bridge for obvious reasons. Yaradua didn't. Jonathan commissioned a photo and said he will build it by 2014. If he doesn't, he will go on exile. And he didn't build it. He didn't go on exile, and heaven didn't fall. Buhari came in. He's not my, didn't vote him, wouldn't vote him, would never. But sadly, or, fortunately, the bridge is going on. You can't go and uproot it. You can argue. The question is, when the project started, what's the timeline? Are they keeping to timeline? If they are keeping to timeline and work is ongoing, you can hate him, you can like him. It doesn't take away the bridge. It doesn't take away the fact that those before him did not do it, and he is doing it. You want to hate me for saying it? It's a free world. You want to go to a native doctor too? I tell you, you're wasting your money because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because if it worked, some of you that were angry going to protest in some, in sometimes, if all this rubbish works, those that shot people at Lekki Tollgate, you go and do juju and booma all of them. Then why do you need judiciary again? You understand? This is 21st century. Let's not go back to, let's not go back to, primitive thinking, people. Anyway, that's that's on that one. Then my final point here, because I'm trying not to let this broadcast go beyond 1 hour. For some of you who always complain about your data, I do not want to burn your data unnecessarily. Before I open the line to take 1 or 2 calls from some of you, I would say on the issue concerning the coup in Chad. Wow, I mean, many of you basically saw it. That in Chad, suddenly we saw the president, we read that the president was shot in battle. I don't know, at least he is better than someone who said he was going to lead from behind and now, from the front, but he's now leading from the behind. He won the election 5 times, I say now, wow, since 1990, only him Wakakom. How can he be the only one governing, just like the same thing that befell Muammar Gaddafi? if leadership would understand that overstaying in power has a way of destroying every good thing you have done. This is a general, a tested general, battle-ready general who goes to the field. He doesn't only sit in the office or in the azarun dishing out orders. No, he goes the front. He goes the front, and he leads from the front as well. So if he does that, that means he is a battle-ready and a battle-tested general on that, the Chadian coup. Now, there is a news coming out in the morning that his son was killed. But again, the reason why we haven't published that is because we cannot publish something that is fake. There is a lot of genuine information out there. We haven't finished with, authentic information to talk of publishing fake. And because, let me see if I can find the video. There is, what's it called? A video I watched. There is a video I watched earlier today, showing the battle that was happening. Let me see if I can quickly find it. The battle that was actually happening in Chad, as I was made to understand that some people were insisting that afterwards his son that just took over, they lost his life. But I haven't seen that information from any mainstream media. Therefore, I could not, confirm if that is true or false. I pray that it is not, because what we do not need now is more instability. We have enough instability already. Because if you know, he the only part that have actually pursued Boko Haram to our shores. And once they do, they hand over and say, Nigerian army, take over. Our Nigerian army, they would, as usual, not entirely take over. And the gains that they've made, once they leave, the Haram guys will come over and take over those territories that he has actually led his men. You know what it means? A president joins his troop to, go on the offensive. A president, not just an ordinary person, joins his troop to go and, fight. Let me share this video with us. You see, I was, again, I put emphasis here. This is not confirmed. But again, for the sake of this argument and for my presentation this evening, it will be nice that I play this clip for us to see the bullet that was flying today. No, well, earlier, as they say, last night, actually, not today. Last night that this was happening. Let me see if that's going to play now. Some people now say that after that fierce battle, that the young man, that is the son of the late president, was not accounted for. Sorry, anyone calling me, please, now. It's not yet time, please. If you're calling me, I have calls already coming in. Please, if you're calling me, not yet time, I will let you know when you call me. So but one thing is clear. After that, we now have people fleeing. Honestly, there is every reason. We must all, maybe people of faith, we can say, we must hope that this doesn't escalate, because if it does, it portends more danger to us, because we are still suffering from the death of Mama Gaddafi. Because since Gaddafi's death, we haven't had peace in this part of the world. Because all the ammunitions flowing in, but being used by the bandits and all what's not is coming from that side, that angle. Now, here is a video of how the people were fleeing early this morning. Yeah. So having, you can see that now. Having looked at that, you can see that this is just the beginning. You can see our fellow Africans running. And if we look at this, it tells us one thing. Our takeaway should be, whatever we do, let us engage and ensure that we do not get to the point of engaging in war. Now look at it. This is happening today. Imagine suddenly all our places will begin to evacuate, running into Cameroon, running into Gabon, running into Abidjan. Everything you knew, everything you knew, all your businesses, you lock up your shop because you don't know if you're going to survive everything. War is not good. We must do everything possible, but we mustn't submit our rights, that people should trample on our rights. But we do everything to, self-defend ourselves, not provoking any other war. And the conclusion here is, I will now say, as we watch out and see what is going to happen regarding what we observe and see what is going to happen and how their story develops as regards to what happens in Chad. There is another video that I saw this evening. That video really made me, you can't hate the political class enough. This is a video that is coming out now. Things brought out for palliative last year, 1 year now. Remember, these COVID started March, that's when countries started locking down. My last official work trip was done first week of March 2020. And since then, I haven't engaged, in any international official trip because obviously of the lockdown. Now, and these were things shared or brought out for people to take. And the wickedness of the leaders made them.
This is palliative distributed by the local government chairman of an local government. We are receiving this palliative now. Today is 19th of April 2021. Against since last year, April. And if you watch here, you see how damaged these things are. So damaged. They have been condemned now. They are released to the masses. How can one eat a condemned food stocked for 1 good year? How? These ones are corn. As you can see.
It's a waste.
You can see. What? No one can take a look. No one can eat it. See for yourself. This is bags of garri. These are bags of garri. They already have faults, stinking. Just imagine. They've lost their quality. Preservatives have expired. Now it is released. This is a terrible thing. Terrible thing we face. Masses are really complaining. What would they do with this when they go home? What would they do with it? Why was it not released since last year? Why? Imagine. Imagine how bad these things are. See for yourself. The government in the local sector. See for yourself.
ask yourself, what would make a people hate themselves so much that something like this would, you have this manner of food and you deny your people in the face of hunger, leave them in a warehouse. Imagine all the warehouse that were. I once used the palliative in my conversation with Omo Elesore. I once used the word looting of palliative, and so they corrected me, said, no, the palliatives were not looted, that the people took over or took their shares of what was given to them. So imagine like in Jos, in Taraba, in Lagos, in those states where palliatives were discovered. Imagine that these things didn't happen in that October. What would have happened by now? What would have happened by now? I think I have my first caller now. Let me take that call. Please put down the hello? Can you put down the, you're watching me with another device. Can you please turn it off or turn the volume down?
Yes, I already turned it off,
man. Okay, good evening. May I know who I'm speaking to? And
from US, from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Eze, you're welcome. What's your contribution? Make it snappy, please.
Yeah, my little contribution is, and also I did a little question to be, wanted to clarify me. Is Enugu Airport going to resume on the 3rd?
Enugu Airport will resume on the 4th of May, if all things being equal. Again, Nigerian factor is because Nigeria and our people have become a people not to be, that is so unserious that once A is said, it could be expecting B. But if all things being equal, Port Harcourt should be starting next week, and Enugu should start in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. All right.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's only
okay.
That's only one.
I think you're itching to fly into Enugu. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone. You want to spend your money where your heart is.
Exactly.
I understand that, and nobody should deny you that.
Yes, sure.
Thank you very much for your call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can see another US number. Hello, who am I speaking to, and where are you calling from? Sorry? Okay, you're calling from the United States. Okay.
Yes. Yes. What I want to say is on the airport.
Okay.
I like the way that you say you're gonna call the commissioner to come tomorrow, because some people are saying that they downgraded the airport. That's not the way airport works.
No.
So the airport, when it's built, they will file for certification, and after inspection, they will first start to land cargo just to prove the airport out.
Yes.
And once the airport is proven out with the cargo, then they will get the passenger landings. And I think there's a number of cycles. A cycle is one takeoff and landing. So I don't know exactly what number that is required. But once they meet that cycle, then everything is okay to go passenger landings. And since the airport is being built to international standard, there will be it's going to be a piece of cake to get the international standard and also
exactly
landing for the passenger.
Exactly what I explained before, because it's going to be a piece of cake indeed. And I think the exciting thing there is that when you look at the runway, the length of the runway, and also that it is the first airport within our region that has a racer double sides, which is one of the issues that I had with Enugu when I thought they were going to include a taxiway, which eventually didn't happen. But all the mistakes that was made, that was made in Enugu, I see it's been corrected with Anambra. Hello?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you for the good work you're doing, and I'm very grateful to the government of the day for doing that. Even for that singular project, I think Willie is working.
Don't, please. This is you're trying to do political advert. Anyway, thank you very much for your call. Thank you. Hello, you're speaking to Master.
Hello?
You're live on Njenje Media.
Yeah, good evening. This is Ebuka calling from Turkey.
Okay, Ebuka calling from Turkey. You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is okay. Sincerely, I like what you're doing. Let me be honest. In as much like there is some analysis that you did today that got me attracted, and I just decided to watch concerning the airport, because I'm this kind of person that I don't joke with anything that has to do with Igbo. Let me be honest. I don't know, but anything that has to do with Igbo, I don't joke with it. So, and I'm this kind of person. First, when I saw the federal government deny the Anambra State international and all that, I don't like to jump into things without getting the facts and the details. And what you did now, sincerely, cleared me in a lot of things that I didn't know before. So I must say thank you for that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Then secondly, concerning about our sister that passed away today, yesterday night, under Jesus, that issue, everybody has to be careful. Everybody, on what you do. Have maybe jump issues that you know about. I believe in some extent in what you said, in as much as I know that there is all this diabolic power, I know there is something like that, you understand? But sometimes fear kill more.
Correct.
To be honest, fear kill more than what we are thinking. Because I can remember a time when I was small. I'm from Enugu. So when I was small, I was like, no, don't go back to Village, don't go to Village, because if you go to Village, they will kill you, they will do this. And up to 13 years, 14 years, 15, 16, 17, I couldn't go to my village. Even when I was born and brought up in Anambra State. So imagine, from Enugu to Anambra, from Opiweka to my village, shouldn't cost me more than, as for them, shouldn't cost me more than, let me say, maybe 800 naira. Because I can take a bus from Opiweka straight to my compound. So, and at a time, I was afraid to go back to village. And there was a time my father said, did you want to go to village? I said, yes. He said, did you want to go? I said, yes. But my mom said I should not go. He said, if you want to go, prepare, go. Nobody will kill you. If anybody try anything and it get to you, that means I'm not the one that gave birth to you. He didn't give me anything. He didn't go with me. I prepared. And I went alone. Nothing happened to me. I didn't die. So sometimes fear, out of fear, and our people just believe so much on these diabolic powers. I think they have a lot of powers, but sometimes fear do key. And like as you said, probably the girl didn't take her health serious. You understand? So, which, from what I saw, that is more of just like this 90% kidney problem, not 90 or 95%. So that one apart, then
you've gone over 3 minutes now. Can you quickly round up, please?
Okay. Let me just say one thing now. One thing I want to say again is, maybe it's not in the topic of today, but I just want to.
I think I will give others chance because
I just wish you can allow me to say this because sincerely, I'm afraid of the danger ahead.
Well, we would discuss much of such, but at least I've given you over 4 minutes, so that's fine. Thank you very much for your call, my brother.
Okay, thank you so much for what you're doing.
You're welcome. So much. Thank you. So people, obviously, once the telephone line opens, And one thing I can tell us is, before you call, try as much as possible to articulate what you want to say, because someone is calling me on a video. Please, is it? Call me on audio. Do not call me on a video call, please. You're already watching me on the television or on your mobile phone. So calling me again on okay, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, Alaka Jesus from Germany.
Sorry, who?
Alaka Jesus from Germany.
Alaka Jesus.
From Germany, yeah.
Okay, you're welcome, Alaka Jesus. Go ahead and make your contribution.
I hear what it is. So, man, other Jesus, okay, is something, is bygone. I don't know what I want.
Sure.
Go
ahead.
If you know, I say back from one I from one money mana only Uchi, what I got depend on towards which. Because this girl, okay, pains me. I follow all the whole things. Of Bruno, Niokula Macau, Amaha Georgia, we are not here to judge anybody. Mananka material, only Nachi, what I go. So, Manandi, Minona Banyo, Minoboto Ibo, Nebo Bonifo, Onya Bonibo, Biayom, on one negi. Arab it neji. If na one email madroma or the charama. So, Achum number than one biko. Bo, Weka su bolo, wiki, Bakutumo Wanyo, I'm a bundi. Nkemas name, I support Mazi. Manankai bundi bone manobudi by Moab in a Germany here. I still got here. One neck.
My brother, I think they won but I wouldn't agree and I wouldn't buy to the notion again overall the topic for today, but I think it's one of the things in Waike, and the conversation this evening is actually in English, but we can settle a conversation that we can have in Igbo, and we can argue out this misconceived notion that Ibafro Honwahananya. Because when you look at Ada Jesus, and we say, how can somebody ever conceive and think that Ibafro Honwahananya, yet Igbos came together? Chidi of Worship Media that started a GoFundMe for her, never met Ada for once, never spoken to her, apart from that they are compassionate listen. When Mrs. Alum Veronica, her house was destroyed in Enugu because of the airport expansion, I'd never met her even up to today. I speak to her all the time. I mean, these are passions. These are things we do for ourselves. But Igbos will go and take somebody as boy and train the individual, settle them up, and yet somebody will say, I would let it that hold on. I will let that be. I know what is happening in Germany. Okay, I know your leadership issues in Germany, but it has nothing absolutely to do with because both your leadership in Germany, Ndibo, past and present, are all my friends and colleagues. So I understand what is happening. But let that be a conversation for another day. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. So please, people, let's not deviate. When you call, make it at least a minute. Please do not deviate. I will take one or two calls more than, again, of shooting the time, going beyond the time I already said. But out of respect, I'll take this call. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from, and what's your name?
Yeah, Njenje Media. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kenneth. I'm calling from London.
Okay, Kenneth, go ahead.
Yeah. My contribution this night to you, even though I didn't join your conversation on time, I sent a comment that said what how long does it take to build a bridge? That is one. Then on the issue of Chad, I want to put the record straight because I have somebody who lives in Jamina who witnessed the whole thing last night. The fight last night was between brothers, children of Idris Deby fighting themselves. They didn't want their brother to succeed their father. There was serious fight, and the speculation is that young man is either dead or fatally injured in hospital. They are not they haven't been able to ascertain, but he is not, all is not well with him. And the people you see running is authentic. People are running, especially people who were part of Deby's government. They are running because they know that there's going to be reprisal. Deby, the family, the extended family are fighting him, even when he was on the throne.
Okay, so now, sorry, and your point is, can you quickly round up on your point because others are waiting?
Yeah, so my point is to tell the world that his son is not, all is not well with him. And the fight was,
is he from, did you confirm from your source if the son is still alive?
They say they can, in Chad there are lots of secret, the informations are not made available, especially when Chad is like a military government, even though they say that democracy, but he is not. The fight is between brothers. The man, they say he has so many children from so many women, and they are fighting themselves. That fight last night was between brothers. No?
Yeah, but sorry again to jump in. You see, you appear to be missing the point. The point here is it doesn't matter the reason why they are fighting. The thing is that, as within the geopolitics, you should be concerned because it doesn't matter if mother and son is fighting, or daughter or first wife and third wife and fifth wife is fighting. The moment the conflict gets to a point that you begin to have refugees, then we are in trouble. We are already in trouble in a peacetime that people are crossing our porous borders.
Yes.
So what then happens after? Yeah.
You are right, but what I'm trying to say is this is a problem waiting to happen, because in as much as Deby is putting on civilian uniform,
but Deby is dead. He's dead. Huh? So no.
In as much as he was putting on civilian uniform, he was ruling Chad like a military.
Of course, everybody knew that. I mean, it's not an argument. So
this is the problem. This is a problem that created, which is serious.
Okay.
They say people are being killed. A lot of people are being killed now. People are using the opportunity of what is happening now to kill their enemies.
Okay.
And in Chad is a place where you can kill anybody anytime. If you are in the ruling, if you are in the part of the government, you can shoot.
Anyway, thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, let us not get overly, not to understand, or rather, whatever the issue is, the issue here is that there is a crisis waiting to escalate in the horizon. So it doesn't matter what the issue there is. So the next caller, who am I speaking to, and what's your contribution? Please make it very snappy. Less than 1 minute, please.
Hello, good evening, my brother. My name is Chinedu.
I'm
calling from Libya.
You're calling from Libya. It's good you're calling from Libya, so that you people have experience of what is happening there. And if it happens close to our doorstep, then we are in big trouble.
My brother, we are big worried here because that thing is a very big problem. It's not a small problem, my brother. Since Gaddafi died, Africa never got herself. And this man now is like another man that holding our region. In fact, we are just here now to come back home for that road. Very
so is that the road you people use in coming back to Nigeria?
So many people use that road. So many Nigerians use that road. You know, since this coronavirus and Libya is not stable. Their flight is today, flight will be next tomorrow, we'll see flight. Sucks, my brother. Our brothers here is in big trouble, and so many people that want to travel home. There is no way. Because that man is a strong man. Now it's stable. Nigeria is not stable. Now Chad now is not stable. Even Cameroon is not. It's just a very big problem, my brother. We are in big mess.
Anyway, thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you.
Okay, my brother.
Again, please, when you call, do not hog the line. Make your point. I think that's one thing that sometimes I found a little bit difficult with us. But I think with training, we understand that, and we would improve on them. You make your call, get straight to the point. I think this caller has been calling for so long. Let me actually call back as a courtesy. I'll call back. So the caller has called multiple times. Yeah, hello. You're live on Njenje Media TV. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, my brother.
Okay, yeah. Hello. Good day. Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Okay, I want to speak on Ada Jesus. I think most of our people, they're ignorant of what happened.
Okay.
To me, I believe that they get on a natural cause. And when you hear spiritual or anything about that, I know in 21st century.
Exactly.
You understand? Yes, and I believe that now is lack of our health system. I ain't get a good health system. You understand? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so it's because of lack of our health system. When we get here something different about it and nothing spiritual about it. So our people supposed to work on how we can upgrade our health system. You understand? Yeah, thanks for my contribution.
Thank you very much and for hitting and going straight to the point. Thank you. Welcome. So people, whatever I know, people have been saying she's not dead, she's this. Honestly, I wish it will be fake. That I honestly wish, that information is not correct. But obviously, you know that before I say anything, most times it do verify, and re-verify. My good brother Chidi had contacts, and obviously before we do some of these things, you don't just do them without getting your facts right. Her death, I believe we teach us one or two things. Again, those saying that Igbos don't love themselves, that's a lie. And in closing here, I will once more say, may her soul rest in peace, and I will let this song play in her honor. Once more, I will say, thank you very much for joining me this evening. The telephone line is hereby closed. If you now call after this, your calls will not be answered. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Collectively we say, may her soul rest in peace. And I say, good night.